Tank Slayer 710 here, and today I'm going to do a review on the Tier 5 British or Irish premium tank destroyer up for sale, the Angry Connor. In this review, I will go over a brief history of the tank, show some gameplay, and tell you how it fares in the holy trinity of tanks, and whether I think it's worth the price or not. So, into the review. The Angry Connor was a version of the Archer tank destroyer used by Garrett O'Connor. He gave the tank a custom spray. He also attached a barrel to the back of the tank in place of the usual fuel and promised to open it after the war. But in 1944 it was destroyed when it saved the tank from a German shell. In World of Tanks, this tank usually plays like a long-range sniper, and its strong points are its gun, and also its 230% credit coefficient, giving it a better credit coefficient than most Tier 8. Okay, so, we are in an encounter battle on Desert Sands. It is a Tier 6 game, so I don't really have the full advantage, and I'm in my Angry Connor.
Time to roll out.
At the beginning of the game, I decided to try to do some sniping from the rails, as our heavies decided to head to the town, and our mediums sorta decide to go to the desert, even though some of them sorta think about going back. But I wanted to personally get some sniping done on the rails, because this thing's strong points are all in the gun. Also, as you can see, you have to drive this thing backwards to get any speed on it. And its gun, being a 17-pounder gun, can do some serious work, but you're kind of mounted on the backwards chassis of a Valentine, so you can't go anywhere forwards. So, I spotted a leopard, but my gun depression's too bad, and I also just don't have any sights on him. Then, a VK30.01P and another leopard show up. I take a shot at the leopard, and I have no clue where that went. It somehow ricocheted off the back plate. Then I realize I'm spotted and there's a leopard near me, so I retreat off the edge, and instead of trying to re-put up my camo, the Panzer IV knocks the leopard out, so I go for the other leopard. He gets knocked out, and I look at the VK, and I see that we have a leopard and we have an MT-25 there, so I think he should be taken care of. Meanwhile, up the city, I see our heavy tanks are kind of getting decimated, so I halfway drive in, and then I think, you know what, this is not going to work out. So I turn around and try to reverse back to the rail. I don't have any spots on any of the enemies yet, and I'm really worried about that Jagdpanzer IV, because those things are completely overpowered thanks to Wargaming's buffing. The BDR kills our KV-1S, and as our Leopard and MT-25 are still fighting the VK30.01P, unexpectedly enough, the VK knocks out the MT-25 before he goes down, even though the MT-25 was on full health before he engaged. I take another shot, but it misses at the BDR, or it ricochets. I'm not having good luck right now. And then finally I knock out the BDR. Currently we're losing, but our Leopard finishes up the VK30.01P without taking any more damage, and I set myself up to duel the Jagdpanzer IV and the Churchill III. So, I'm telling the Leopard to spot for me, because this thing can't really do anything with brawling, and I've only ever pulled off a really good brawl once, where I got a Caliban Olives in a 6-kill game against 2 Leopards on Himmelsdorf. And there were a ton of other tanks, but it was to very lucky ammo rack and module hitting to get that. And it was not something you can really rely on. So, I'm trying to tell the Leopard to attack the Churchill III first, as he's on lower health, and I'm hoping if we can isolate the Jagdpanzer IV, if I act as a distraction and die, our Leopard will be able to circle him. So I'm slowly moving up on the Churchill III, and the Jagdpanzer IV is still looking at the Leopard, so I'm hoping I'll maybe get like one shot off before that happens. I really should have loaded APCR. I feel like I was overestimating the penetration on the 17-pounder gun, because I bounced a shot against him, and the Jagdpanzer IV turns towards me. The Churchill III is one of the best armored tanks at Tier 3, and I'm now, in retrospect, really wondering why I didn't load APCR. I bounced a shot on the Jagdpanzer IV, unfortunately enough, but I didn't really expect to pen that shot. I was trying to get a shot off to the right of the gun mantlet, but it didn't work out. It hit the gun mantlet. So now they're looking back at the Leopard again, which is sort of trying to bait them. And I'm slowly moving forward, but this thing is at 12 km/h forward speed. I'm just hoping that our Leopard doesn't take that much damage. So I decide, you know what? If the Leopard's going to go engage the Jagdpanzer IV, I'm just going to go all in. So I pop adrenaline, bounce a second shot, and finally I just realize I just have to start aiming. But he starts doing so much damage to me that even though I knock him out, I lose 420 health to him. The Jagdpanzer IV is still on full health, and our Leopard and me are both almost dead. So I was thinking currently the only way for me to be able to do this is for us to both disengage and think of a new idea. I'm trying to tell the Leopard to group up, but unfortunately enough, he's been trapped by the Jagdpanzer IV, which I realize, so I'm hoping the Leopard can hold him off. The Leopard is sort of running away, and he gets some shots in, but unfortunately enough for me, the Jagdpanzer IV shoots him under the rails and knocks him out as he tries to pass over the rails to my side. I feel kind of bad about that because I couldn't really do much, so I apologize, but the game's still going on and I still have some sort of shot. So I'm hoping, since my view range, though it is less than the... Yeah, rip the Leopard. Though my view range is less than the Jagdpanzer IVs, I think that since I have camo net equipped on this tank, I'll hopefully be able to at least get like one shot off on the Jagdpanzer IV before he spots me and maybe reverse over the cliff because I have good reverse speed. But then he starts capturing the base. So I try to move up to a slightly more advantageous position near a bush. I pass the first one because I'm trying to head up to one on the dunes, hopefully, to try to get some shots into the capture circle and reverse behind the ridge. So I keep moving up. And the Leopard's kind of excusing his death. And I see that, and then I get spotted, and it's just too late, and I'm dead. And we lose. Because the Jagdpanzer IV is kind of OP. Anyway, for a defeat where I used a ton of ammo, I got 30,000 credits, did second best on the team, and it kind of shows you how good of a money maker this tank is. It's much better than some tier 8 premiums, so yeah, that's one of the major incentives for getting this tank. Now anyway, on the conclusion. Now, let's go over how it fares in the Holy Trinity of tanks. For its gun, I give it a 9 out of 10, because it has a higher than average alpha, an amazingly fast reload, good penetration, and good aim time. I mean, it's a 17-pounder gun, what more could you want, especially at tier 5. For the armor, I give it a 3.5 out of 10, because though it will stop some HE, it will not stop anything else, and since the chassis is literally a Valentine backwards, you don't have any of that armor with you either. Finally, for the speed, I give it a 2 out of 10, because I'm not counting the speed backwards. I'm counting it forwards, which is literally worse than a T95. In conclusion, I would only recommend it if you either want to collect tanks or you need credits but don't have the money for a tier 8 premium, as it earns more money than they do. Otherwise, there are much better tank destroyers at tier 5. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time.